My name is Erica Green, and thank you for joining us today for our presentation. I am the Acting Manager of Education at CPLED. I began my legal career in private practice in a small community in Nova Scotia, and that gave me an opportunity to really be a generalist and have, assist clients in a wide area of the law. I stayed in private practice for about 15 years, and then after leaving private practice, I joined the Nova Scotia Barristers Society, where I worked with the articling students, both in approving their applications and in development and delivery of their bar admission program. My work at the Nova Scotia Barristers Society led to my involvement with CPLED, and I've worked in all aspects of the prep program from development to delivery. With me also today are Andrea Rodich, and she's our program manager, and Eric Pye, our student services advisor, and you'll be hearing from both of them later on in our presentation. So today we're going to talk about the Practice Readiness Education Program, or PREP, including its structure. We'll also talk about registration, student services, ways to stay informed about what's happening at CPLED, and then, as Carly said, we'll address any questions at the end. So the Practice Readiness Education Program, or PREP, is the official bar admission program for Alberta, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and Saskatchewan. It's a 9-month program which consists of 4 phases, and over those phases, students will develop their competencies required to be admitted to the bar as an entry-level lawyer. The E in PREP really talks about all the aspects of our program: education, e-learning, experiential learning, and at the end of the program, the evaluation. So the program is set up in 4 phases, as I said, and the intention is that you begin by learning or being told and shown about the various skills that you'll need. Then you have an opportunity to practice those skills. Then you have an opportunity where you perform and reflect and improve on those skills. And then at the very end, you demonstrate those skills. And so those take place over our 4 phases. The first being Procertus, which is a precursor to getting into the program itself, and I'll talk a little bit more about the requirements for that, but you'll be doing that first. Then phase 1, as I said, is our tell and show phase, which is our foundation modules. Phase 2 is our practice phase, or our foundation workshops, which we're currently holding virtually due to COVID-19. Phase 3 is our virtual law firm, where you get to perform your skills, reflect on your skills, and improve. And then phase 4 is the capstone, or the final evaluation. And that's where you're going to demonstrate that you've actually acquired the entry-level competence that you need to enter the practice of law. So what I have up on the screen now is our proposed schedule for the June 2021 delivery of PREP. Again, you can see that the 4 phases, as well as Procertus, there is timing there. So Procertus is somewhere between 3 and 6 hours. Phase 1, or our foundation modules, is somewhere between 100 and 110 hours, which will work through July to the end of August. Foundation workshops are delivered in smaller groups, so we actually have 3 sitting sessions of those, which begin at the end of September, and then depending on the schedule, run through until mid-October. Virtual law firm begins at the end of October and runs through till mid-March, which is approximately 85 hours over those 3 months. And then the final phase, again, is delivered in small groups, starting in the middle of March and finishing at the end of March for the last group, and that's approximately 30 hours. So let's look at each of the sections a little bit more closely. So as I said, before you actually enter into the program, you're required to complete Procertus Legal Technology Assessment training. And so this is a platform which will assess your abilities and help you improve your proficiencies in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Adobe Acrobat. you are asked or required to earn qualified or expert certification in 2 of those 4 software programs, one of which must be Word. And the reason that we ask students to do that is that this is a good opportunity to make yourself more efficient, improve your skills in the word processing platforms before you start working on your assignments in the program, as well as for your assignments during your articles. If you have completed ProCertis Legal Technology Assessment previously, and you've earned your qualifications, you will be able to upload those to the CPLED platform. So it won't be necessary for you to do those again. If you haven't done it, you're looking at somewhere between 3 to 6 hours, and a lot of that will be dependent on what your expertise is in the different softwares. So then what we do after you've completed your ProCertis training is we have a short orientation. And so the orientation gives you background about the program, expectations of the program, prepares you to be ready to access the content and begin working through the phases of the program. And so to make sure that you've gained all that information, we do have a short 10-question multiple choice quiz that you need to successfully pass before you actually are given access to the bulk of the materials. So when you begin in phase 1, which is our foundation modules. And as I said, this is the tell and show phase of the program. It's self-directed study where you're given readings, videos, and some online activities to work through all the base knowledge that you need and that you will be using in the subsequent phases of the program. There are 12 content modules and 2 multimedia modules. Our multimedia modules are the show part of this phase. And in those, we have lawyer skills in action and practice management skills in action. And both of those will give you an opportunity to see those things happening in, sort of real life situations. So you'll be able to watch interviews, good and poor, as well as oral advocacy and negotiation. You'll also have an opportunity to work through some legal writing, legal drafting, and research activities, as well as practice management activities. So you'll be able to see how the knowledge you've gained in the prior modules can start to be applied. Other than in Module 1, where you're required to upload a personal code of conduct, at the end of each of the modules, there is a 30-question quiz that you must pass in order to gain access to the next module. And again, this is to make sure that you're gaining the base knowledge that you will need as you move forward. There are practice quizzes available so that you can test your level of knowledge before you actually take the final quiz at the end of each module. Phase 2 is our foundation workshops, and that is a 5-day interactive workshop. And as I said, currently it's being delivered virtually due to COVID-19, but it is all experiential learning. So it's not lectures, it's an opportunity for you to begin to practice. So you'll be role playing in the areas of interviewing, negotiation, and oral advocacy. You'll do exercises in legal writing and legal drafting and research. You'll work with large groups and small groups. And as I said, we do deliver it in smaller groups or cohorts, somewhere between 24 to 32 students. And then in those groups, you're divided into firms of 3 or 4 students. And those are the students that you'll work with for the majority of the week. We also do spend some time looking at ethical and practice management scenarios, and we spend some time working on communication skills and discussing cultural competence topics during the week. As I said, it's all interactive. You have an opportunity to perform the skills, reflect on the skills, but also it's an opportunity for you to become familiar with our assessment criteria. So in each of the workshops, we'll spend some time going over the various assessment criteria, and then to become familiar with the assessment criteria, you'll do some peer evaluation and self-evaluation so that you can start applying those and becoming familiar with what the content of the various assessment criteria are, because those criteria are what's going to be applied to you as you go into our virtual law firm and into the Capstone. So the virtual law firm is the next phase, and this is really where you start performing, reflecting, and really improving those skills. So again, you're working independently through three rotations: business law, criminal law, family law, and real estate. The first two, business law and criminal law, are approximately a month. Family law and real estate is approximately 5 weeks. And you do assignments. Those assignments are then provided to an assessor who's trained in the assessment criteria and the assignment, and they will provide you feedback. So each rotation is a simulation. And you'll get to work on many of your skills. So you may be interviewing simulated clients, working on aspects of negotiation, different forms of legal writing and legal drafting, practice management, client management, and research. And as I said, those assignments will come from your fictional supervising lawyer, who will give you instructions of what you're supposed to do. Then complete those assignments and submit them so that they can be assessed and gain feedback. After you're given your feedback, you have an opportunity to then reflect on that feedback and look at ways to improve. And to help you with that improvement, we have you meet at the end of each rotation with a practice manager, who is a practicing lawyer, who will meet with you and help mentor and coach you and work through the areas that you need to improve, and look at how you can do that and give you some ideas in addition to what you may come up with in the course of your reflection. Each rotation has somewhere between 5 and 10 assignments per rotation, depending on the length of time for the rotation and the types of assignments that are being assigned. So phase 4 is the final assessment, and this is where you need to demonstrate that you've gained entry-level competence in all the skills. So you will be tested on all your oral skills, negotiation, interviewing, and oral advocacy, and those are all assessed live. So with the assessor present while you demonstrate those skills, whether that's an assessor or a simulated client in the case of interviewing. You also will be doing assessments on your written skills, and those are due at the end of each day. They're submitted to our Dropbox, and then they're assessed by assessors offline. And those will include legal writing, legal drafting, research, ethics, and client relationship management, as well as practice management. The other thing that will happen is that it is very much like the virtual law firm. So you will be given a simulation again, and that's where all those assignments will come from. And that simulation takes place over the first 3 days of the capstone. The capstone in total is 4 days. Day 4 is spent on reflection and preparing professional development plans. So on day 4, you'll look at your progress through the program. You'll identify areas that still need to be improved. You'll set goals for yourself and then convert those goals into your professional development plan that you will use as you enter into practice. Each day is approximately 6.5 to 7.5 hours of work. Tasks need to be completed between 8:30 and 5 p.m. And the deadline for submission each night for assignments is 5 p.m. There is no homework or carryover work from day to day. The results for the capstone are released 6 weeks after the last sitting. So as I mentioned earlier, there are schedules. So after the last schedule sits the capstone, 6 weeks from then, the results will be released. In order to be successful, you have to demonstrate overall entry-level competence. And what we're looking at there is your whole performance throughout the capstone. So we take a holistic view of how you performed in determining whether you've acquired that entry-level competency. So from here, I'm going to pass things over to Andrea Rodich, and she's going to talk to you about admissions and registration.
Thank you, Erica. As Erica mentioned, my name is Andrea Rodich, and I'm the program manager here at CPLED. And I will be talking to you about admission requirements for and registration process for PrEP. To register for PrEP, you are required to have either proof of Canadian common law degree or Certificate of Qualification, CQ, from the Federation of Law Societies of Canada. Universities within CPLET participating jurisdictions have agreed to provide us with the list of graduates as soon as it becomes available, and we anticipate having these lists by early June. If your proof of graduation is not included on one of these lists, then a dean's letter will be required as proof that you have obtained a Canadian common law degree. You will be able to attach that letter to your profile when you register with CPLED. As mentioned, all students with the Canadian Common Law degree or a CQ from the Federation of Law Societies of Canada may register and complete prep in 2021-2022 program year. Students with secured articles will also need to register with their law society as a student member. Students without secured articles may also register and complete prep in 2021-2022 program year. However, please note that this is subject to change if your jurisdiction's law society advises CPLET of a change. If the articling requirement does change and a secure articling position is required to complete prep, we will update our website and you will be able to access that information. To stay up to date on all the latest CPLET news, you can subscribe to our e-newsletter on our website and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. The total program cost for prep is $6,100. What you may not know is that this cost is subsidized by law societies for students who are registered as approved students or clerks with CPLET participating law societies. Students must be registered as a student or clerk member with their law society prior to the beginning of phase 2 of prep, the foundation workshops, for the law society subsidy to be applied. Updated subsidy amounts per province will be updated on our website as the information becomes available from the law societies. Invoices will be generated at the time of registration and will be issued directly and individually to you, the student. CPLET does not issue invoices to firms. And most importantly, payment plan options are available. Registration will open on our website, cplet.ca, on Wednesday, April 7th. Students can register there to secure their desired schedule. Once registration has been completed, an invoice will be generated, and students are required to submit their tuition fee payment at the latest by Friday, June 25th. Please note that the program materials will not be released until your enrollment checklist has been completed and your tuition fee payment has been processed. It's also important to note that it may take up to 5 business days to process a payment. We accept online bill payments, EFT, and wire transfers. Credit cards, e-transfers, and checks are not accepted. Prep materials will be available in D2L as early as June 1st, provided that you have completed your enrollment checklist in CPLET Student Portal and that your tuition fee payment has been processed. We also wanted to let you know about our new prep delivery model that we will be piloting in Alberta this year. Accelerated Prep is a full-time compressed version of the practice readiness education program that Erica described to you earlier in the presentation. Students who enroll in the Accelerated Prep will be required to dedicate a full day of study, 5 days a week, throughout the 14-week program. Accelerated Prep is a demanding program, and therefore it is recommended that students are not yet working at their articling positions and receiving assigned work from their firms while in this program. The program will run May 31st to September 2nd, 2021. To effectively pilot the delivery model of the Accelerated Prep, we will be seeking to select students from across various stakeholder groups. While we will attempt to accommodate interested students, accommodating all students may not be possible. To be eligible for Accelerated Prep, you must have written your final exam for your Canadian Common Law degree or completed your final requirements for your Certificate of Qualification from the Federation of Law Societies of Canada. If your enrollment in Accelerated Prep is approved, You will be required to sign an agreement before commencing the program. Secured articles are not required to participate in this program. So how do you express interest in participating in the inaugural offering on Accelerated Prep? To express interest, visit our website and complete the 3-step expression of interest process outlined on the Accelerated Prep Alberta 2021 webpage, and you will have to do that by April 7th, 2021. All students who submit an expression of interest to us will be notified by April 14th. More information about Accelerated Prep can be found on our website under the Students section. As well as you can also register to attend our upcoming webinar session for interested students taking place on Tuesday, March 2nd. Details on how to register for this session can be found on our website. And now I will hand it off to my colleague, Eric Pye.
Okay, thanks, Andrea. My name is Eric, and I am the Student Services Advisor here at CPLED. One of the things that I do is I help students who are enrolled in the program but don't yet have articles. Student Services is available to all students once you are registered for PrEP and until you complete Capstone. You have access to our Student Services Department. Student Services can help support those who may still be searching for articling positions through one-on-one coaching, resume and cover letter reviews, and interview preparation. On our website, there are several resources available that you can access, and these include resume samples, resume templates, and information about marketing and branding concepts for your resume. These are available to anyone. They are available to students who are not yet enrolled in the program. And so if you are searching for articles and would like some input on your resume, please do take a look at those, and they are available on the website under the student section and student services. Another resource available to you, and this is both to students who are in law school at the moment, to students who are in the NCA process, and to students who are enrolled in PrEP, is the Student Resume Directory. On our website, at the top right-hand corner, there is a small gray link that says Student Resumes, and you can follow that link to add your resume to the directory. Feedback we've received from students is that securing an articling position can be a challenge, particularly during the pandemic era. And so the resume directory was created as a resource that law students can utilize to help connect with potential employers for both summer positions and articling roles. To upload your resume, first you'll need to create a profile on the CPLED website. You can indicate what type of position you're looking for and also your target work location, and then upload a copy of your resume. We do ask that your resume not have any contact details, just to maintain your privacy. Students can be contacted by recruiters through the portal using the email that you submit as part of your profile setup. If you are a registered PrEP student at the time that you upload your resume, then a member of our Student Services Department will reach out to you to provide coaching and support on your articling job search. Employers can browse the student profiles and reach out directly to suitable candidates for opportunities within their organizations. Student profiles are live on the CPLED website for 1 year or until a student removes the profile after finding employment. The Student Resume Directory is a free service from CPLED and available to law students seeking summer or articling positions in one or more CPLED jurisdiction. As Andrea mentioned already, if you would like to stay up to date on the latest CPLED news and events, you can connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and/or Twitter. You can also subscribe to our e-newsletter, and you can visit us at cpled.ca. If you have any questions, send us an email at admin@cpled.ca, and a member of our staff will be happy to assist.